Hello and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog, welcome back to the car, welcome back to Cornwall, welcome back to, it is the last week of autumn. Next week we're going to be into, well, winter. Yeah, December starts next week, I think. We got the 25th on Tuesday? Yeah, so very, very close to the end of the year. And everyone in the Northern Hemisphere, it's getting a little bit chilly. It's 12 degrees outside now, today, but last Friday and Thursday, and I think Wednesday as well, it hit 4 degrees outside. And one of the things that people don't understand about the United Kingdom, who are from other parts of the world, which is fair enough, because a lot of people watching this are from other parts of the world. Hello, and how is your day? I mean, you guys live in basically a fantasy land, as far as I'm concerned. You're just off jet setting and living the good life. I'm just in dreary old rainy England. Mary Poppins, fish and chips, rain. But yeah. So one of the things that you don't really get is how the weather is so changeable, because we are on an island in the North Atlantic. And one of the things that happens is that one day it can be 18 degrees, the next day it can be 4 degrees. And that's not great. In fact, I tried to wash the car earlier. You can't tell. You literally cannot tell, because I got halfway round and it started raining. It started raining, there was a cold, wintry wind, which, I mean, I washed my hair, blow dried it, I was looking fly, and then I wasn't anymore, because the north wind was like, nah, gonna make you look like a scarecrow, old chum. But the cold is fascinating, because Dad went to university with a gentleman from Canada, specifically from, what's that one in the middle? Alberta, Canada. And he said, because it was British summer, he said, oh, it can't possibly get cold here. In Alberta, it's like -30. Well, the British winter rolled in. It was only about 4 degrees Celsius, and this guy was freezing. And he said, it's a wet cold. It is a wet cold. He's never experienced anything like it before. And yeah, I can understand that, because it just gets into your bones. And the houses don't really have that much in the way of insulation. So you just get cold and wet all the time. Even though it's not in the negatives, it's thoroughly unpleasant. Which is why I've put the heating on in the flat. I know it's a bougie expense, but you can't just sit around being miserable. But it does have other effects, like your skin gets very dry and you don't even realize it until you're doing things like you're in the supermarché. So, I don't know. Let's say you're in the supermarché and you're buying something mildly embarrassing. Pick something mildly embarrassing that you would, I mean, legitimately buy in a supermarket, but perhaps not want other people to know that you are purchasing. I have a lot of nephews and nieces, so I mean, my sister's like, I want your nephew to spend time with you. And I'm like, all right. Not until he can pass a Turing test and until he's toilet trained. Because as I gather, children need either a litter box or to go in the garden. I mean, I owned a cat. My cat was very good. He always went in the garden. He was great. But there's feasibly a time where I might have to buy Huggies, for example. So I walk into the supermarché, pick up a pack of Huggies, and go to the counter. Self-checkout. And you know that everything possible is going to go wrong. This is going somewhere to do with dry skin. Everything's going to go wrong. There's going to be that one person who just is body temperature close to you, looking over your shoulder, because all the other self-checkouts are full, and they think that if they are so close to you and watching everything that you do, you're going to go faster. You're not, but in their mind, there's like their mind powers, you're going to go faster. You're not. And then obviously you're self-checkouting things through. You've done it like every other time before. Everything else in your basket or trolley is stuff that you normally buy, and you know that you normally just go in and out. It's a very quick process, except that one thing that you want to purchase that might be mildly embarrassing. Well, it's a weight mismatch. So the lady has to come over and just check all the stuff that you've bought. So now the person behind you knows that you've bought something embarrassing. The lady knows that you've bought something embarrassing. But this is not where it stops. No, because it's winter. So you complete your purchases, and you've put in your pin, chip and pin or whatever, and you've done the beepy beeps with your debit card. And now it comes to bagging stuff up. And for some reason, because your skin is super, super dry, you just can't pick anything up. Nothing gets picked up. You pick it up, you drop it. The bags that you're trying to open, you can't open the bags. You're like, can't open the bags. Everything, and like everyone is now watching you. Everyone's watching you. Everyone knows what you've been purchasing. That one thing that you didn't want to purchase because it's slightly embarrassing in your mind, and it's normal. Nobody actually cares. Nobody cares what you buy in a supermarket. But in your mind, you're thinking, oh, these people are going to think I'm a bit of a freak. They're going to think I'm a bit of a weirdo. It's not. But yeah, you just can't pick anything up in the winter. It just falls out of your hand to a point where sometime in February, you're just going to be like, do I have a problem? Do I need to go to the doctor? Because I just can't hold on to all of these things. Apples, cheese, it just keeps falling out of my hands. Such is the curse of winter. Everyone knows that it gets cold in winter, but everyone's like, yeah, that's fine. Everyone knows it rains in winter, and sometimes it even snows. But the biggest wintry curse is the dry skin and the fact you just can't hold anything. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about. Not what I wanted to talk about today. Because I am driving to my sister's to drop off a birthday card. I don't even know if they're in. I'm just going to drop off a birthday card. We've got her a collective present. So she's going away on a trip to Scotland. Because she's always wanted to go to Scotland. And that's great. But even though it's like a family present, I thought I'd just give her a birthday card as well. Because it's nice to get birthday cards. Same sister who's got the nephew that wants... Yeah, I think one day I'll take him to the tank museum. He's gonna be like museum boy. If she wants my nephew to spend any time with me, we're doing museums. So that's where I'm going. But I have left my 3D printer running. It's got about 4 hours left, so I need to get there and back in 4 hours. But yeah, 3D printer. Wait, what? Oh yes, there have been some changes in Overdrive Theatre HQ, or my living room, I guess. One of the things that I bought, one of the things that I haven't bought, my dad bought it for me. Dad was like, what do you want for your birthday? This was a while ago. What do you want for your birthday? And I'm like, well, I'm thinking about various things, but I don't really need anything. So anyway, I ended up with a 3D printer. A Bamboo Labs A1 with an AMS, if you're curious. And it is printing a stand for my new MetaQuest 3. He said, what do you want for Christmas? And I said, I don't want anything. So I ended up with a MetaQuest 3 because I'd mentioned it, which is good. I mean, yeah, it's good. So the MetaQuest and the 3D printer. The 3D printer is fascinating because it's one of those things you get and you're not entirely sure if you're ever going to use it again after the first time you print it. You do a test print on it. I don't know if I'm ever going to use this again. And then you think, oh, I need a thing. So you print a thing. So I wanted a pen holder because I've got my pens on my desk. So I've got a Parker pen. I've got the Wacom stylus for my Wacom tablet. I've got pens. I got loads of stuff. So I'm like, I'm going to print a pen holder just to keep all of the stuff on my desk tidy. And then I printed a desk tidy. I've also printed like those flexible dragons. So you get a dragon and it's all flexible because, I mean, why not? I wanted to see what this thing could do. But quite often you're like, I need a thing. I could order it off Amazon or I could see if there's something on printables. So you go on printables and you find something and you can modify it. So I printed a deck box for my Commander deck because I double sleeved my Commander deck and it wouldn't fit in a normal deck box, so I had to print one off. But I wanted it in Neon Genesis Evangelion colors, specifically Asuka's plug suit. So it's black, red, and orange with a 02 on top. Great. I'm finding like you print something and then you're just like, I don't know if I'm ever going to use it again. And then like a week later, you're printing something else. So yeah, stand for the MetaQuest. So I had an Oculus Rift before, a 3D headset, Oculus Rift, and I found that I liked it. I enjoyed it, but it was a pain in the ass to set up. So you would set this thing up, and you'd have a cable off the back of your head. So you'd have the USB cable and the HDMI cable, and then you have 3 cameras around the room. So you'd need 4 USB 3 ports and an HDMI port on your computer. But once you were in it, it was great. I loved it. Like, Payday 2 was amazing. Probably the best VR game is Payday 2, because it wasn't intended to be a VR game, but they ended up making it into one, and it's really good. The ability to blind fire around corners and things, it's great. The worst VR game that I bought was probably Skyrim VR, because you ski around and it just made me nauseous. Didn't like that at all, so I haven't gone back to that. Maybe teleporting is okay, but teleporting in Skyrim just feels slow. It looks good, but it just feels slow. So yeah, I think like when I got the MetaQuest, it arrived yesterday. So Dad was like, "Oh well, yeah, have one of these then." I'm like, "Okay." Dad left when I was 8. I remember the conversation Mum had. He left when I was quite young. We were all quite young, but they didn't get on. So Dad, I visit him from time to time. I mean, he's okay. He's good. A little bit weird, but good. I think he'll agree on the little bit weird. It's fine. But yeah, let's step out here. So sometimes it's like, what do you want that's technologically interesting? And sometimes there is technologically interesting stuff. So MetaQuest arrived yesterday. Compared to the Rift, it's a lot easier to use, because you just put the headset on, have the controllers in your hand, and there's no cameras and there's no cable. I really enjoyed that. The camera, the pass-through camera, is very good. Like, when I was setting it up, I needed to get the Wi-Fi code from the router. So you can use PC Link. It goes from your PC through your router into the headset. It doesn't work well with mesh systems apparently, but if you're just doing it straight from your router into the headset, that's the way to go. So you connect your PC via Ethernet into the router, and then it's Wi-Fi from the router to the headset, and that's the best combination of things. So yeah, I was walking around. I went from the living room into the bedroom because I forgot that I moved the router into the living room. Then I walked back in, like with the headset on, with pass-through on. Walked back into the living room, grabbed the thing. Using the pass-through, I just read the code and typed it in and accessed Wi-Fi that way. Installed Steam Link so I could access all my Steam games. Played a bit of Moss, which is a great game with a little mouse. The fidelity is actually really good. Like, it's not a huge leap away from the Rift. I'm going to say it's not a huge distance from the Rift. There is a certain, like, there is a higher fidelity and less screen dooring, I think, definitely. But in terms of an experience, it's not a world away. Not having the cable is probably the single biggest thing. And when the guy delivered it, because it was through Amazon, when the guy delivered it, I was like, wait, is that it? Where's the rest of the boxes? It's a tiny little box, because it's just the headset and the controllers. And I'm like, oh, wonderful. So I opened it up and I was like, oh yeah, no, it's here. Thanks, dude. So yeah, no, it's fairly lightweight. All the stuff is done in the headset. Yeah, I'm still learning. So I did access the Oculus Link. I worked out how that works, so I could get all my old Oculus games working on it. So that's fine. But yeah, pass-through is great. No cables is great. The fact that it all just processes in the headset is great. The fact that it's lightweight is great, and the fact that it's easy to use is great. So yeah, 3D printing a stand. The base bit will be done by the time I get back, probably. It's got another 3.5 hours on it. I'm happy to leave the bamboo doing its thing. I've been using the 3D printer for a while, and I think it's safe to let it do its thing. If I wanted to check on it, I can use the phone app to check on the 3D printer and see how it's going. So that's fine, that's great. Yeah, so and there's another couple of bits. I need to print the tray and the little caps, and everything's fine. So yeah, I'm having a good time with the VR. I think VR is something that I didn't use for a while, just because setup with a Rift was a pain in the butt. You'd have to get it out, allow it to warm up. You don't need to the MetaQuest. You don't need to warm up because the Rift sometimes it mists up, especially during the winter. Especially during the winter when your skin is dry. So you'd have to wait for it to demist itself, and then you could use it. And it would. I mean, these things still get hot. They still get a little bit warm against your face. So that is something that hasn't changed. I guess they haven't changed. One of the other people that does have a MetaQuest that I know is Nick. Because he got a Rift the same time as I got a Rift, and then he got a MetaQuest, and he said, mate, it'll change your life. He uses it to watch YouTube in bed, which is fine. I'm going to have to see how all of that is. I did watch a little bit of YouTube. I watched a little bit of Game Grumps on it. So that was fun. It's like sitting in a theatre, like sitting in a cinema and watching YouTube on a cinema. The screen doesn't move as you move your head around. You can recenter it if you want, but yeah, that was fine. So I think I'll see if James wants my old Rift, only because I know his computer can run it, and James of twitch.tv/cosmic_guppy, cosmic_guppy, I think. But only because I know his machine can run it. He did say that he gets motion sickness, but if you're doing seated experiences, like Star Trek Bridge Crew, Bridge Crew, then that's fine. That's fine because you're seated. Moss is seated as well. Payday uses teleportation rather than locomotion. I think Payday is the one that I've played most. Payday 2 is the one that I played most in VR. But if anyone has any recommendations for VR stuff, VR experiences, there was a fun one that comes with the Quest, which is it's like, it's going to fill the room up with puffins. And I'm like, what is it talking about? And so it scans your room, and then as you're playing, the walls of your room start smashing apart, and all these little like soot sprites, brightly coloured soot sprites, just end up in your room. And I'm like, oh, it's fascinating because there's like a space vista on the other side of this thing. So as bits of your room start falling apart, then you got the space vista and all these little creatures start coming in, and you got two little pistols, and you pop them into bubbles, and they disappear, like, I guess, puffins. So yeah, it's been a fun time so far. I've had it for like 24 hours now, and I think I'm gonna explore it a bit better. But yeah, 3D printing a stand for it so far, so that's good. That's good. Anything else? No, the 3D printer is great, and I would recommend a Bamboo Labs A1. Like, not spawned for any of this, like totally not spawned, but it just happens to be what I've got. Because it's good. It's been great. I have had no problems so far. Yeah, the Rift and the MetaQuest are good devices. I think the Rift is still a good device, but the MetaQuest just makes it easier. And pass-through on your VR is it's great. As far as the channel goes, yeah, I've been looking at what to do for Christmas time. I don't know, I'm just not feeling very Christmassy. The supermarkets, oh yeah, that's why I was talking about supermarkets. As soon as Halloween was over, the supermarkets went straight into Christmas mode, and they've been playing Christmas music since November the 1st. I don't like supermarkets at the best of times anyway. They're a necessary evil, a pain in the butt, but a necessary evil. So yeah, so I've been distracted by a supermarket and Mariah Carey apparently, because they dust her off every year and she just gets straight back into it. But yeah, just not feeling very Christmassy apart from the supermarchés. So I mean, it's 9 degrees now according to the car. 9 degrees. Everything's green. Everything's wet. But thinking about what to do for Christmas on the channel, I think last year we did PT? I think I did PT, and I might have done, was it last year when I did the Titanic, or was it the year before? It might have been the year before was Titanic. I think last year was PT. So I think we might do horror again this year, just because it's fun to do horror stuff and then put Christmassy cards, like thumbnails over the top of it. Yeah, why not? I think we could probably do horror. So expect that. I don't think I'm going to do anything, because I think last year, it must have been last year when I did sewing stuff on the sewing machine. So I made some bed sheets on the sewing machine. My Singer 128K, which is like 100 years old, hand cranked sewing machine. I made, they were half satin, half cotton sheets. The tops were like cotton, and it was like birds of paradise and shells, and the bottoms were satin. And I can tell you, they are still being used. I've been using them for a year and they've been fine. But I have had a problem with my sewing machine. The vibrating shuttle. So with the Singer, it has something called the vibrating shuttle. It doesn't have the modern bobbin in it. And the vibrating shuttle goes backwards and forwards. So the whole thing swings backwards and forwards on an arm, and it's in this bullet shuttle. So what you do is you spool up a long bobbin. The bobbin's like an inch long, or like 33 mil, something like that. And you spool up a thread, and then you put it into the bullet shuttle, and you pull the thread down and up, and it's supposed to go under the spring. So I was trying to thread it the other day, and every time I went down and up, it just snaps the thread off. Snaps it off. And I'm like, okay. So get a screwdriver, loosen the spring, snaps it off. Tighten the spring, snaps it off. I can't do anything with this thing. It just keeps snapping the thread. And I'm like, what's going on? So I go onto eBay and I order a brand new bullet shuttle. A brand new bullet shuttle on 5 bobbins for my 100-year-old hand cranked sewing machine. Really? Yeah, you can still get parts for a Singer 128K. I think it's the 28K, the 128K, and then there's, the 28, the 28K, the 128, the 128K. There's like a bunch of machines that use the same vibrating shuttle. So yeah, that should arrive sometime next week, and hopefully I can get the bullet threaded so I can sew up some holes in my clothes. Because if you got clothes, sure, sometimes the hem starts coming loose. Sometimes you get a little hole. Sewing machine, done, easy peasy. And I love hand crank stuff. I love the old stuff because it's good. You put a little 3-in-1 on it just to keep it lubricated. But yeah, 100-year-old sewing machine with its original like wooden box and little wooden table. You've seen it if you've seen that video. Well, you've also seen my hair being done. That was before I got a hairdryer. So I was washing my hair, and then I was putting hairspray on it, and it looked stupid. Still looks stupid because it still needs a haircut. But I will say, a hairdryer is definitely what you need. Hairdryer is, if you don't own one and you've got hair, buy a hairdryer. Yeah, my top tip of the video. If you don't get anything else, hairdryer. But yeah, so I should next week be able to fix my clothes. There's only a few. There's a couple. I got a t-shirt with the hem that's coming loose, and although it does a straight stitch, which isn't like stretchy, for the distance that is coming loose, it'll be fine because the rest of the hem will still stretch. So that's absolutely fine. Apart from that, nothing more to report as far as the channel goes. People are still watching. People are still watching Stranded Deep. Of the maps that I have uploaded to Steam Workshop for Stranded Deep, one of them has like 500 downloads, which is kind of cool. That's the one with the giant tunnel, the giant cave that runs through it. That's got just a ton of downloads. So people are still playing Stranded Deep, and people are still downloading stuff for it, which is great. I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time getting back into the game and being a bit more nomadic. So we are pretending to be the Straw Hat Pirates. Not that was the plan, that's just how the playthrough has evolved. But since we are getting close to where my sister lives and I don't want to dox her, I'm going to leave it here. So if you like these videos, definitely leave a little like, leave a subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, if your notifications dingle the bingle. If you don't want notifications, don't click the bell. If you have donated via coffee, thank you. Electricity is not cheap and it keeps me warm. So yeah, again, thank you. You don't have to. Just your views and your likes are all that's needed. Where is this guy going? Because he's not indicating. Yeah, just drift across the roundabout, my friend. Don't worry about your indicators. We can use our telekinesis to work out where you're going. And I'll tell you what, now I've insulted another driver, I'll catch you next time. Telekinesis, telepresence, not telepresence. Psychosomatic, cybernetic, cyborg, Cylon? Betazoid. We use our Betazoid powers. They are not our Mzadi though. Not at all. Mzadi would use indicators.